So you have your iPad with your picture that you want to copy as you practice your first oil painting. You have your drawing from last week. You have brushes. This is my Gamsol. You have Gamsol as well in a container. And you have foil. If you have your Gamsol, sorry. So I'm all set up here. I have oil paint, my canvas, iPad with the picture that I am interested in copying, and foil. The foil is your palette. I'm going to show you how to use it. The oil paint, you'll notice if it's a new tube, it's closed off like this. Do you see how the lid, the top, has a little point like this? So you just poke it through to open the oil paint, and you literally use it's a little bit bigger than a pea-sized bit of paint. You don't need much. Oil paint stretches quite far. So I'm going to start with the background first. So I'm getting out, and my background is like a light blue. Blue is a stronger color than white, so I'm going to use even less blue than I have white. So you see the size of the white. Let me bring the foil closer. And this is the blue. It's a little hard to see with the foil. Okay. Let's put that away. And I'm going to add a touch of black, which is over here. Puncture it. And a little bit of black over there. Next, I'm going to block in the color. So you can use different size brushes. I have the smaller, slightly bigger, to spread the paint. See, this is a round brush. This part is round, and this is a flat brush. Okay, so to spread your oil paint, let's take this out of the way for a second and bring this a little closer. Here's the Gamsol. I'm going to just dip my brush in the Gamsol and take some of the blue. The Gamsol helps you spread your paint. And I used very little blue, and you'll see that it influences the white quite quickly, and a little bit of black. When you paint with oil, you want to start with, my background had a lot of clouds in it, so you start with not the lightest color, not the darkest color, but a middle tone. So I'm using the Gamsol to help me block in the color. Okay, so I used a little bit of white, and I thought it was enough, the pea size, but I was wrong. So I'm going to get some more white. And a little bit more than a pea-sized amount. And since I'm working on the background, I'm going to use my bigger brush to help me spread the paint a little easier and faster. We only have a half an hour class to do this, so you're going to go over some of your lines, but use the round brush to trace around your bird first. So if you look at my picture, I have some clouds in my background over a sky, and I'm going to add more, oops, this is not white, this is black. I'm going to add more white. And I know the time is very short, so I'm going to see how far I get in this one period to paint in some white over my background. I'm using thicker paint this time, and I'm just kind of patting the paint on like this. It'll probably need a few layers, but I'm starting it and try and get as far as I can. You also got, besides the detail brush and the flat brush, you got a brush that was very soft like that. It's a brush that I use for blending. So even though the sky is not done, we're going to try to soften the lines. So just going, it's like a makeup brush to blend in your tones. Do you see how I'm going in a whole lot of different directions? I'm just trying to soften my lines. Even though the sky is not done yet, we're still going to put in more tone next week or at another time. We just want we want to soften the tones a little bit and blend the paint a little more. So just going kind of in a round motion with my wrist. So this is the first painting. This is referred to as underpainting. And you're going to paint another layer over this. Maybe if there's a part that you really like, you can keep it. But usually you're going to do more touch-ups on top of this. If the paint on the brush gets a little bit much, you can just squeeze it out like this with a paper towel. And then keep going. So this is how you clean up. You take all your brushes and you squeeze out as much paint as you can before you rub it into we're going to use dishwashing soap to clean our brushes. Oops, this one came off completely. So you take off as much paint as possible and then rub it in the soap. Rinse it with water and then add soap to it again a second time.